Hey there, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you're watching this from. And this is going to be a talk on resilience. So, so as we know, in times there are going to be challenges, there are going to be struggles, there are going to be painful situations, or situations that will make you feel down and doubt yourself, doubt everything around you, doubt everything that's happening, that you faith, so on. It's inevitable. These times are what I like to call it the test of your strength, the test of your courage, and the test of your wisdom. Because one thing I've noticed is that in terms of prayer, from religiously speaking, from my background as a Christian, and coincidentally, in terms of coincidence, I figured that the more I prayed for something, uh, you don't get granted it immediately, or you don't get granted it at face value. So let's say you pray for, uh, let's say you pray for wisdom, or you pray for patience, and then it's not like boom in an instant, you know, your patience has increased by 100, or you're more prone to being more understanding and more more empathetic and sympathetic to the situations and the people around you. No, that's not going to happen instantly, sadly. Uh, One thing that I've realized is because it's one thing I've prayed for, and uh, from speaking from experience, what happened to me was that I I started getting tested on that. So let's say I have to wait more. Let's say that the metro's delayed, or I'm running late to wherever I have to go, and then all of a sudden, metro comes, it's packed, and then there's like a few spaces inside, but then there's a crowd of people outside, and they bang into the door and rush in. So I have to wait for the next train and the next train and the next train. So yeah, it's not even that. It's like just simple mundane things that it doesn't need to be extravagant, or out of this world, or once in a lifetime situations where it tests your ability, or it tests the thing that you prayed for, or that you're hoping for. And it can be just mundane things, waiting in line, or having somebody annoy you for no reason, or people outside, total strangers, do something, or say some stuff, or sort of that test your patience in terms of that, having having the urge to just fire back at them, and let out your anger and frustration on what they're doing, instead of just calming yourself down, and telling yourself, okay, chill out. It's just a minor setback. It's just something that annoys you. You don't need to completely lash out, or completely you know unload on that person, in other words. So yeah, in terms of that, you'll get tested on your patience. And if you ask for wisdom, I would say, if you ask for wisdom, sorry, there are going to be times where you'll be really confused instead of having it all figured out. The complete opposite of wisdom. You know, you're gonna start to doubt things. You're gonna start to question things more. You're gonna start to, doubt things on a surface level, on a simple level, and doubt things on like an extravagant level, or you know, things that are out of this world. You start questioning, faith. You start questioning hope. You start questioning why you're even existing, if this is all you do, or you start questioning what's the point of anything if life is gonna end and we're gonna ascend. to another life, the afterlife, so on. And so, yeah, a lot of questions pop into your head about, all kinds of things. To name a few that popped up in my head, it's like we can't apply, religious teachings or religious beliefs to the outside world, into reality, because reality is completely different. And in terms of that, you have to have a sense of wisdom or practicality, knowing that if you do things unconditionally for people, you're just gonna get abused in the end. Well, I can't say that for everybody because not all people are the same. So some people may actually appreciate you and value what you offer on the table. In terms of your worth, in terms of what you do, in terms of your willingness to give and your willingness to help them out. But there are sometimes where that sense of practicality and that sense of wisdom needs to kick in, where not everybody is the same as having that mentality, and some people may use you instead because other people think like, oh, I can use this guy for or this girl for to my advantage or something like that. So yeah, it's all about deciphering who to give your 100% to, what to give your 100% to what not to, you know. So yeah, but how does this all correlate to resilience? Well, it's all about it's all about just pushing forward despite how despite despite how painful it is, or despite how confusing it is. Because at the end of the day, uh, it all aligns with your growth. It all aligns with you becoming a better person. This depending on how you decipher these uh, situations to be or take away from it. Because I do know that there are two roads one can go down in the face of challenges and in the face of confusing situations. It's either we crumble upon the pressure and completely collapse, or we we push forward and fight through it, and know that in our heads that it's not all that bad. It's just one bad day, or it's just one mistake. So I'll grow from it. I'll get over it. uh, it's not gonna ruin my life forever. I'll keep pushing forward. Life moves on, all that, yada yada yada. But then, yeah, it's all about pushing forward through it, because at the end of the day, whatever we're aiming for, whatever we're pushing forward to, whatever we're working towards, whatever we're praying for, and so on, we won't be able to get it if we give up, right? It's like if we give up like right now, if we give up, you know, 20 years, 5 years from now, we won't be able to see what could have been, right? So that's why, I mean, people grow, people change. Um, that includes us. We grow, we change, we become better persons, we become better person, we become better people. Times we turn into the worst people and the worst person we could ever see in the mirror. But that's just how life goes. You can't always be perfect. You can't always be the best that you can be on every single day. But uh, you know, just be resilient. I mean, at the end of the day, it's also fair to consider the fact that you have to be you have to be selective, and you have to choose what to be resilient in, because as I mentioned again, you know you need to be wise about where you spend your time or who you spend your time on, because not everybody deserves, once again, your 100%, and not everything deserves your 100%. So it's all about picking and choosing what is worth it to you, and what can give you the best benefit in the long run, or what seems to be worth it in your eyes in the long run. Uh, so focus on that and be resilient on that, because it may not look like it now, but you're gonna need that resiliency if you're gonna want to see results. Everything worthwhile, I believe, whether that be your dream, your job, your specific relationship or whatever, your growth as a human being, your faith in your religion and so on. Everything takes time. You know, everything is a work in progress. You're not gonna see results instantly. You're not gonna be, you know, a success story overnight. That never happens. Right? It's a one in a million chances. That depends on luck. But what you can depend on is consistency. Just being consistent with it, going with it, continuously trying to get better every single day at what you do. And if you fail, you fail. If if you succeed, if you succeed. But main thing is that you keep being resilient and you keep going. You know, no matter how hard it is, push through, because you'll never know. Maybe tomorrow, maybe a few weeks from now, maybe 5, 10 years, 15 years from now, you're gonna get that break that you deserve. So it'll be a waste if you give up. Yeah, it's just gonna be one of those regrets where you'll be thinking like, what if I actually pushed through, or what if I actually held on for a bit longer, you know? So instead of having that regret or that lingering thought in your mind, especially just keep pushing forward, and eventually in due time, I don't know when, but I'm still trying to figure that out myself. But eventually, each and every one of us will have that moment where, in the words of my younger brother, uh, where all of these sacrifices and all of the hard work finally pays off. So yeah, that's all of this. That's all for the talk, guys. Sorry for mumbling and losing my train of thought every now and then to talk. But yeah, I hope you guys took something away from this, and hope you have a great day.